Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Land News Brief. Today is December 28th, the last week of the year. Okay, let's take a look at today what we got. Of course, we're going to review mortgage rate and first news, recreational marijuana, cannabis, the sales in New Jersey is soaring. I guess they're doing good. But a lot of people are concerned. So we'll take a look at that. And the next news is Netflix builds mega studio complex in Monmouth County, New Jersey. Well, that sounds like good news. And U.S. home sales fall for 10th month in a row. Not so good news, but we'll take a look at it in detail. For brick housing market, there is a reason to bet on recovery. Well, that sounds good. We will take a look at that. And U.S. population growth stays sluggish, very slow. The next news is global flow of goods gets back to normal. That's good. The transportation and a lot of the packages moving around by FedEx and U.S. Post Office, it gets back to normal. That's good news. And Tesla stock is headed for its worst year ever. We will take a look at this. Okay, first, the mortgage rate. This week, actually, is all pretty much went up, except the 10-year Treasury yield stays, but other interest rate went up. I think we kind of relaxed a little bit. Okay, so that's why I think interest rate went up. Okay. 이번 주는 interest rate이 좀 올라갔어요. 근데 다른 것이 좀 안정된다고 생각을 했는지 그런 상태였는지 하여튼 이 홈모기지가 조금 올라간 상태 있고요. 이번 주에는 다음 주에 또 봐야 되겠죠. Okay, the first news, the recreational marijuana sales in New Jersey reached to $116.5 million for third quarter this year. And it was about 45% up from second quarter, which is about 80 million. We're talking about recreational marijuana, but medical marijuana sales reached to 61 million, which is up only 3% from the second quarter. So compared to medical marijuana, recreational marijuana sales increased 45% over the quarter. And they saying, this company, Brightfield Group, is a marijuana marketing research company, says in 5 years, the market will grow to $1.8 billion. So this is one of industries which will grow phenomenally, okay, in next few years. And in New Jersey right now, there are 30 dispensaries, meaning retail stores, and 21 stores, including 4 Lee. I think everybody knows in the former Staple store on the French Road, near to the H Mart in Foley. Now they changed to marijuana dispensary. And so 21 stores, including Foley, sell recreational marijuana for adults. The price in New Jersey is the highest nationwide, $453 per ounce, while it is $257 per ounce in Massachusetts. So New Jersey is kind of more demand than supply, I think. That's why it's a most expensive place nationwide. 그 리크레이셔널 기호용 이제 마리화나가 이제 폭등세라고 이렇게 표현을 했는데 그 지금 그 $116 million 가 됐다. 세일즈가 third quarter에 3분기에 그리고 2분기에서 대비 45%가 올랐다. 근데 그 반면에 메디컬 마리화나는 2분기에서 3분기로 오면서 3%밖에 안 늘었다. 그러니까 실질적으로 메디컬용으로 필요한 사람들은 별로 늘지 않았는데 이제 recreational 담배 같이 그 그 세일이 지금 폭등을 한 거죠. 그리고 마케팅 컴퍼니에 의하면 이쪽 계통에 5년 안에 이것이 1.8 빌리언이 될 것이다. 그러니까 어마어마한 비즈니스로 늘어나겠죠. 그 지금 뉴저지 안에 30개의 디스펜서리가 있는데 리테일 스토어가 있는데 21군데에서 리크레이셔널 기호용 마리화나를 팔고 있다. 근데 그 중에서 지금 포틀리가 거기에 하나 들어가죠. 해당이 돼서 그 한아름 포틀리 한아름 마트 밑에 있었던 그 스테이플이 있었는데 거기가 지금 마리화나 가게로 바뀌었어요. 자, 그리고 뉴저지가 지금 값이 제일 비싸다고 그러네요. 전국에서 $453래요. 아운스당. 자, 그런 상황이라서, 물론 우리 부동산 쪽에서는 뭐 이걸 어떻게 막을 수는 없죠. 그죠? 단지 이제 법은 있어요. 학교 근처에서 얼마 떨어져야 되고 뭐 이런 게 있어요. 그러나 리테일 스토어 플레이스가 많이 필요하다. 그렇겠죠. 그죠? 지금 그 스테이플이 마리화나 가게로 바뀌는 것처럼 그러니까 그 부동산에 관계되신 분들은 이런 것을 눈여겨볼 필요가 있겠죠. 최근에 가장 빨리 성장하는 인더스트리 중에 하나다. Okay, next news is Netflix. This is good news, possibly. The Netflix builds mega studio in Monmouth County. The town is Fort Monmouth. And of course, I mean, it says here what? They're going to build 12 buildings, 12 studios, and it's on the 300-acre lot. Whew. So it's going to be huge. I believe it was the old army base. And total cost will be $848 million. And the project will create a 3,500 construction workforce, and it will create 1,500 permanent jobs. And the value to the New Jersey economy over next 20 years becomes 1.8 billion to 4.6 billion. The company estimates. So even maybe you can go tour if the Netflix mega studio comes into New Jersey. This Fort Monmouth, maybe by driving from here, maybe about, I guess, within 2 hours, you can go to this Netflix mega studio. 그 맘모스 카운티의 포트 맘모스의 바닷가 쪽에 있는 거죠. 그 오래된 그 아미 베이스가 있는데 거기에 300에이커 땅에 스튜디오 12개를 짓는다. 12개 빌딩을 넷플릭스가 지금 들어온다는 거죠. 그래서 그것이 지금 전 세계적으로 가장 큰 프로덕션 포실리티 중에 하나라고 해요. 그 유니버설 스튜디오가 실질적으로 사이즈가 어떻게 되는지 모르겠지만 넷플릭스가 최근에 좀 이익이 좀 줄어들었다고 지금 좀 컨텐트 가지고 고민도 하고 여러 가지 광고도 하겠다. 광고도 넷플릭스 그 상영 중에 집어넣겠다. 뭐 이런 얘기도 지금 나오고 있는데 아마 시작을 한 것 같죠? 광고가. 아무튼 근데 뉴저지에 전 세계급으로 그 세계적인 규모로 스튜디오를 짓겠다. 좋은 뉴스 중에 하나고요. Okay, next news is now home sales fall again. We're talking about number of transactions for 10th consecutive month, 10 consecutive months straight. And the sales of previously owned home declined 7.7% in November from the previous month to seasonably adjusted annual rate of 4.9 million. When we had the really booming market, the existing home sales is about like 6 million annually. And this 4.09 million sales is weakest pace since May 2020. Okay, so now recently there are some early indications that the demand has ticked up slightly in recent weeks as mortgage rates have slid from their recent highs. So mortgage rate kind of not the 7% range, now is a 6% range. Okay, so hopefully next year 5% range. And then it's going to be much different. If you take a look at some chart, this is overall view. So right now it's a 10th month, keep declining the number of sales. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from here, the first month and second and third, so all this decline in terms of the number of sales. So November 2022, we reached to 4.09 million sales. And this median existing home price, we went up all the way up, and we reached over, as I said, 400,000 once. But now it went down to 370,000. So right now we are in this level. This still 3.5% increase from a year ago. This, even though it went down, okay, still from a year ago it's a 3.5% up. Okay, so this chart, this graph gives you some overview. 지금 집이 값이 아니고요, 집값이 아니고 계속해서 세일이죠, number of transaction이라고 볼 수가 있죠. 전번 달에 9개월 연속, 그리고 이번에 이제 10개월 연속, 이번 달에도 세일즈가 떨어졌어요. 10월 달에 비해서 11월 달도 7.7%가 떨어졌다. 그래서 전체적으로 지금 4.09 밀리언 세일이 일어났다. 근데 이제 최근에 디맨드가 좀 ticked up 됐다. slightly. 왜냐면 모기지가 조금씩 이제 쿨해지고 있기 때문에 그런 이제 상황이 돼 있다. 그 차트는 한번 보시면 되고요. Okay, the next news is for bleak housing market, not so good housing market. There is a reason to bet on recovery. So we see some hope. The most Americans agree that now housing market is down. Yes, but it could be a great time to start betting on housing recovery. Well, we understand that heading into 2022, the biggest problem faced by real estate agents was that there weren't enough inventory to meet demand, while home builders were struggling to increase construction as well. So inventory is the biggest problem. But now mortgage rates have started to cool, and the job market is still strong. and the next year's mild recession will not get hit hard, the labor market, then underlying demand for housing from large M generation is still there. So that is why we could look at a lot better at the end of 2023 than it does now. So from this moment on, a year later, we will see much better picture because mortgage rate is coming down and job market is strong, and underlying demand, the huge demand for M generation, for housing market. 지금 별로 좋지 않은 하우징 마켓 중에도 리커버리가 기대되는 이유가 뭐냐 하면 이제 모기지 레이시 좀 이제 줄어들기 시작했고요. 그다음에 잡 마켓은 스트롱하다. 잡 마켓이 굉장히 중요한 것이 레이오프가 매시브하게 일어나면 이제 모기지 페이먼트가 문제들이 되기 때문에 포기하고 이제 집을 팔아버리는, 집에서 나오는 그런, 아니면 모기지를 못 내거나 이런 게 생기는데, 지금 잡 마켓이 비교적 스트롱하다. 그리고 M 제너레이션의 인구가 굉장히 크다. 우리가 통계적으로 다 알지만 M 제너레이션이 어디 가지 않겠죠. 미국 내에서. 베이비 부모 제너레이션보다 인구가 훨씬 더 많다. 이 사람들이 결국은 집을 살 수밖에 없다. 그래서 지금 이제 2022년 말인데 2023년도 말에는 훨씬 지금보다 그 상황이 훨씬 더 좋아질 것으로 본다. 그래서 그것이 지금 뉴욕 타임즈의 사설에 나와 있는 글을 좀 옮겨다 드렸습니다. The next news is U.S. population growth stays sluggish. I think we had this topic before, but I want to show a very interesting graph. The Census Bureau says this year, U.S. population grew only 0.4%. So very slow, very slow. And that actually added pressure to the tight labor market as well. And also labor market, the problem with the labor market right now, why we don't have many workers, even though companies try to hire, because some people are saying the Trump blocked out a lot of immigration. Okay, so that's another reason right now. Plus population doesn't grow fast. So anyway, how many population, how many people we are adding? US added 1.3 million people in the year that ended July 1st. And total population becomes 333.3 million population. And among them, the increase was 1.3 million, right? And about 250,000, it's more births than deaths. Okay, so the natural birth and natural death, 245,000 more births. So that's increase, net increase. And other component which measures people moving in and out of the country grew by 1 million. So moving out of US and moving into US, the difference is 1 million. So add up, we add totally 1.3 million in US this year. And population growth have been slowing before the pandemic, but had averaged more than 2 million a year. Average about we add 2 million a year over the last decade. As recently as 2016, the US grew by 2.3 million people. So for last decade, for last 10 years, every year about 2 million increase. Okay, but this year only 1.3 million increase. So let's take a look at this graph. This graph is very interesting. If you look at this graph, okay, again, the Wall Street Journal did a fantastic job. You can see at the glance, you can see this color, kind of a darker yellowish, means decreased population. And as you go this dark blue, it's increasing population state. Okay. So let's say darker area is New York. It's they decrease, which means minus 0.6 to minus 1% area. New York is decreasing, and West Virginia is decreasing. Okay, and also Illinois. And also California is kind of a mild decreasing area, and Alaska as well. Okay, and New Jersey is also like a yellowish, so decreasing. A total increase US is again 0.4%, which is 1.3 million. Okay, but what about the increasing states? Idaho and Texas. It's a dark blue. And Florida, look at that, and South Carolina. But Georgia is kind of mild increase, 1.1 to 1.5. Okay. So Idaho, I don't know reason, but the Arizona, Utah is also good. So this area, this is the area that increase. Only the Mississippi and LA is what? Louisiana. Louisiana is a state. Anyway, so they are kind of slightly decreasing, but other than that, all increasing. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina is good, Florida is good, and Texas is good, increasing. So South area average-wise 1.1% increase, 1.4 million. Okay, so 인구가 미국에 지금 조금 잘 증가가 안 되는 것 같아요. 우리 자녀들이 많이 좀 결혼하고 많이 좀 낳아야 될 텐데, 출생으로서 더 많이 난 거는 한 25만 명 정도고, 다른 거는 이렇게 이사 들어온 거, 뭐 이민도 포함되겠죠. 그게 1 밀리언. 그래서 토탈 올해에 1.3 밀리언이 증가했다. 그게 지금 퍼센테이지로 0.4%밖에 안 된다. 그리고 이 차트에서 보였었지만 이쪽 그 남쪽 그 스테이트들이 인구가 증가한다. 지금 약간 블루 계통이 다 늘어나는 주죠. 그리고 이제 뉴욕이나 펜실베니아, 뉴저지도 좀 줄어드는 추세, 롤라인드 이런 쪽 좀 줄어드는 추세. 그렇게 지금 볼 수가 있고요. 줄어드는 거는 캘리포니아 쪽이 좀 줄어들고 이렇게 되어 있네요. 오케이. The next news is global flow of goods gets back to normal. The COVID-19 pandemic might not be gone completely, but the global supply chain crisis it spawned has reduced. The FedEx, for instance, FedEx Corp and other regional carriers are having an easier time delivering packages this peak season. Okay, and also U.S. Postal Service, which makes last miles by the delivering postman, said its previous new sorting machines have helped expand its packing process capacity to 60 million a day. So they're doing also okay, not the crazy situation. And this is interesting. The daily rate to move a shipping container from Asia to US West Coast is hovering around $1,400, down from $7,500 in July. And it was a peak at $15,000 a year ago. So now it's easing, which is good. So 지금 그 전 세계 움직이는 물동량 유통 과정은 상당히 안정되고 있다. 뭐 코로나가 다 완전히 끝난 건 아니지만 지금 최근에는 차이나가 또 좀 난리네요. 그죠? 코로나 때문에. 그리고 우리 주위에서도 좀 코로나 걸리신 분들이 조금 늘기는 했죠. 그럼에도 불구하고 아무튼 전체적인 그 물동량 서플라이 움직이는 물동량에는 굉장히 안정을 찾았다. FedEx도 굉장히 easier time을 즐기고 있고 포스트 오피스도 마찬가지다. 포스트 오피스는 특히 뭐 솔팅 머신을 또 더 이제 투자를 해가지고 60 밀리언 패키지어 데이는 문제가 없다. 그리고 이제 그 컨테이너 값을 이제 보면은 이제 확실하게 한 10분의 1로 줄어들었다. 아주 제일 어려울 때 1년 전에 우리가 아주 문제가 많을 때가 $15,000였는데 지금은 1,400달러 정도까지도 내려왔다. 네, 그건 좋은 뉴스고요. Okay, the last one is the Tesla stock is headed for its worst year ever. Looks like there's some trouble with the Tesla. Because the investors didn't like the Musk's Twitter ownership. And also looks like Musk now is going to step down from the CEO of Twitter. Okay, and anyway, right now it's tough. So on the pace for its worst annual stock performance on record. Okay, and we're going to see the graph, but it lost roughly 70% of its value since the stock hit the record in November 2021. You want to take a look at the graph here. So at the peak, it was 1.24 trillion. This is a total market value, means the stock share price times number of shares. That's the market value. It was one time hit 1.24 trillion, but now it came down to 389 billion, which is, I think it's a mistake. It's a 68% if I calculate directly. So it's about 70% down from this peak. So that's the stock value. And what about the production? Is delivery. And also delivery is increasing, but it went down once, but it's catching up. And this is a fourth quarter estimate, but their target is right here, which means year 2022, their target is 50% up from year 2021, but is way below if they want to reach to their goals right now. And they stopped the Shanghai production over the Christmas holidays, long holidays. They never stopped production during Christmas holidays, but this time they stopped the operation in Shanghai operation, which is Shanghai operation has about 25% capacity of production worldwide. Okay, so 그 테슬라가 조금 상황이 안 좋네요, 그죠? 토탈 스탁 밸류도 차트에서 보셨지만 70% 정도가 지금 올라간 피크에서부터 지금 떨어져서 내려왔고, 그리고 지금 투자자들이 더더욱더나 안 좋아하는 게 머스크가 그 트위터를 사가지고 막 이렇게 하고 이러는 거를 굉장히 좀 bristle, 그러니까 머리가 뻗쩍 서서 안 좋아한다 이런 거죠. 그런 지금 상태여서 올해의 최악의 기록을 남기게 되겠다. 그런 지금 뉴스가 들어와 있습니다. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this week. And I hope everybody have a great New Year holidays and see you all next year. By the way, as I said, the first week we're going to have CU Landers. We're going to have in-person meetings. So Zoom participant we will see second week of January. Thank you for joining and see you there later.